And boom, my name is Gunner Miller, and this is Chat with Gunner, episode 61. And it is a very stormy afternoon here in Chattanooga.
We are risking our lives to be here right now.
This is not an emergency broadcast because it is not live, but it very well could be if we were live. That's the difference between us and the news stations around here. It's a little wet outside. It is a little windy outside. There's already been a tornado touchdown in Birmingham today.
Adairsville and Rome also have had some touchdowns.
Right.
Or at least sightings.
Yeah, that's right next to us right here. Yeah, that's not nice.
Yep.
Hopefully nothing's happening outside right now. I would like to walk outside, get in my car, drive home, get to the baby, maybe sit down, maybe watch some TV, maybe watch some shows, maybe get him some food. Tia's got to work tonight, so I'll be stressed out about that. But a lot of things going on, kinda. Long week at work. Man, I don't know. We did the Justice League little breakdown last week. We were excited for it.
But
we both
what did
watched
you think?
it. So I watched it that night.
Oh.
I went home and after the podcast, because we got home was like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it was kind of an early night.
Yeah, so I got home like 8 o'clock, and then Tia was already in bed with it like up, ready to roll. So, and I was tired, man. I had to fight through it.
Tia's a team player.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, so we start the movie because we didn't have Marcus, and she had never seen the original Justice League. Remember I told you she had started watching it, and I made her stop? So, she enjoyed it. She was laughing at the parts that were funny, and she was entertained. I liked it. Listen, I'm a huge Batman fan. I like the superhero type movies. Even like the DC movies are not as good as the Marvel movies, but I still like them.
They scratch a different itch.
Yeah,
They're like up until now, because Marvel's slowly getting into it. But my hope originally was like Marvel movies were going to be the team-up movies where you see, like, oh, there's Captain America in an Iron Man movie, and, like, stuff like that. Or, oh, my gosh, Hulk's in the new Thor movie? What?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Justice League movies, you get these team-up movies like Justice League. But more so, it's going to be about, like, the Flashpoint, which is what the Flash movie is going to be about.
Right.
And, like, specific stories about the multiverse,
yeah,
which Marvel does have, but like DC is kind of based more around it, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like a lot of their greatest stories come from the fact that the team goes to a different dimension and then has to fight, alternate versions of themselves where everyone's turned bad, or like the Injustice universe, where Superman gets pissed off and kills Joker because he kills Lois Lane, which, I mean,
it's kind of what they teased.
It's kind of what they teased, which I'm excited. Which, at the same time, Injustice is more like Superman taking over Earth himself.
Yeah.
And this seems more just like an apocalypse coming to Earth. So like Darkseid and Desaad and all them. So
right.
It's very interesting. But
listen, okay. Remember the conversations we used to have about like Batman? Who was good Batman?
Yeah.
Who's good Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
It was always like, Michael Keaton, Christian Bale.
Michael Keaton, good Batman. Christian Bale, best Batman. But the number one Batman, Adam West.
Well,
come on.
The most
Batman.
Listen, the closest physically to a Bruce Wayne on paper, height, weight, is Adam West.
I think it also matters, like, it's kind of like the Spider-Man debate. Like, what's the best Spider-Man of the three?
Yeah.
You got Tobey Maguire, who's a good Peter Parker, but his Spider-Man's kind of lackluster because he doesn't make as many jokes.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield, bad Peter Parker because he's just an edgy teen, but he makes those good quips.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Christian Bale, he's a really good Bruce Wayne. I could believe it. But his Batman's great, obviously.
Right.
But he talks like this.
Yeah.
So,
let me tell you something. Ben Affleck needs some more credit.
He does. I agree.
That man crushed some Batman.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about the Batman he's playing. He's playing an old Batman.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I think that's where everyone kind of got confused. Or like, when you think of Batman, you think of like Christian Bale in his 30s playing Batman.
Exactly.
You don't think about Batman pushing 50.
Basically, yeah.
You know, out there trying to be a superhero, but his only power is that he's rich.
I still love
That's my favorite line.
The line with Flash getting into his car. So what's your powers? I'm rich.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're fast, huh? Yeah, I'm fast. So what's your powers? I'm rich.
It's solid.
Yeah. Then he gets into his $300,000 Mercedes-Benz and takes off.
Dude, looking at that Mercedes-Benz and like they have the gratuitous like turn on the car shots of like the lights coming up on the air vents and stuff. I'm like, damn, I kind of want that car.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Shit.
It's like a concept car. You don't even sell that bad boy.
I'm pretty sure like most of the time when you see a car with Bruce Wayne in it, it's a concept car.
It's a concept car.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So, yeah, I am a huge fan of Ben Affleck as both Bruce Wayne and Batman in his mid-40s, pushing 50s. I think there's no one better.
It's solid.
Yeah, there's
100%.
no one better. I'm sad now knowing that there's not going to be a Batman movie with Ben Affleck because the setup at the very end would have been perfect.
I think what we're gonna look at, what we're gonna see next is now, from what I've read, because I was reading stuff while I was watching it, which is probably a bad thing. But I had already seen original Justice League. I wasn't too worried about some of the scenes because I knew exactly how they're gonna play out.
Yeah.
I did eventually watch another video like on YouTube that was just like breaking down the differences between the Justice League and the Snyder Cut Justice League, and there weren't a lot of major changes. Like, obviously there's another 2 hours, but I don't really feel like it was an extra 2 hours, you know?
I mean, this is a good movie.
Like, yeah. But I was looking into it. Evidently the Zack Snyder verse is only a trilogy. So Snyder is not coming back for another movie. Unless, you know, they change their mind. But I mean, hey, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and now the Snyder Cut. It's pretty solid.
So that was his deal.
That's his deal, which, I mean, to be fair, like, the Snyder Cut itself was exterior to that, because the Justice League already came out. Like, it was Joss Whedon's Justice League, but Zack Snyder was still the director for it. Obviously, for the personal reasons he had to leave, but, I mean, hey, we got the Snyder Cut. Some people were complaining that we're not going to get the Ayerverse, or the Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad, even after all of this,
right? Because
evidently Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad, kind of the same thing. Not necessarily, you know, personal reasons he had to leave, but Suicide Squad got butchered in editing,
really,
in post, because the editing house evidently either closed down or they couldn't come to a correct deal. So the trailer house that made the trailer for Suicide Squad edited Suicide Squad, which is not a good thing.
Right.
When you edit video, like, even for me, like, there are two different ways for me to edit if I'm going to edit like a 30-second spot for a trailer or something versus what I do for like this.
Right.
Which it still isn't a lot, but it should be said. It's different.
Yeah.
So the fact that a trailer house decided we're tasked with creating a full feature-length movie, of course it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be anything what people wanted. But I think what we get next, as far as the big movie, like the tentpole movie, is going to be definitely like either the nightmare version of what happens after Justice League. Because obviously, from what we saw, like, the Nightmare verse is what they're calling it, where, you know, Darkseid wins and is looking for the anti-life equation and all that stuff. God, it's so fucking nerdy.
It's so great, though.
It's so great. I can appreciate that you now know what that is, even on the, like, exterior, like, not really knowing deep into it. But man, it's just the Joker scene. I texted you while I was watching it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's like you told me, like, yeah, the movie's right before the Joker scene.
Yeah.
Because you realize, I mean, yeah. So that was the same thing. We watched, you know, you got to watch 3 hours and 45 minutes to get to the Joker scene. So, I was 3 hours and 30 minutes in, and it was wrapping up. Like, as far as, like, the other movie. So I was like, oh, this thing's wrapping up right now. I looked at T and I said, if the Joker does not show up in this movie within the next 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to lose my mind.
Now, I feel like the trailer that we got for the Snyder Cut implied that it was going to be, like, more in the movie. Like in the first, in the Joss Whedon cut of Justice League, you get the nightmare scene early in the movie. It's like before they get the team together, but after, like, figuring everything out.
Yeah, when Bruce was, like, sleeping, right? Yeah.
But now it's at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And I was a little confused.
It was his second dream in the movie.
Yeah. Which, again, it's kind of weird. And we got more, like, I guess Cyborg basically had that first role of like, the forward thought, or the foreshadowing, or whatever you want to call it, the foretelling of, like, the bad shit happening. But, the Joker scene is so good, and a lot of people are like, "We're sorry, we really ragged on what's his name, Jared Leto, for playing a bad Joker," which he did, all things considered,
in the Suicide Squad.
But having a good director and having a solid, like, script, he did really good, and that's one of the only new scenes.
Yeah, I would have, dude, if they could have done a Batman versus Joker type movie, or a Batman with Joker as the main guy in it, with those two,
I could believe it.
That would have been great.
I would love to see a Killing Joke film,
like a real film,
like a live action Killing Joke. Yeah. It'd be definitely rated R. But
well, the best thing about this Batman was Batman dropping the F-bomb.
Yeah, I had to remind myself a few times. I was like, "Oh, this is rated R. Like, this isn't like a PG-13 movie. This is, like, I mean, Steppenwolf alone, like, when he's in Atlantis and he's taking the mother box, he just chops dudes in half.
Yeah,
multiple times, and I'm like, oh, right.
Yeah, so it was fantastic.
So here's my question, and this is an obvious question. Other than Batman, who's your favorite Justice League character? Now, seeing Snyder Cut. Because I can tell you I had two brains about this.
Well, I already know where you're going with this. So here's my thoughts on The Flash. I know you.
How did you know?
I know you too well, Ethan. We've been doing this now for over a year. Here's my thoughts on The Flash. He was too corny for me.
Okay.
I need a little bit more, and I don't necessarily, I'm not a big Flash fan, so I don't know, like, Flash from the comics, but he's a little bit too corny for me and too childish.
Okay.
Because I still think Flash is a badass.
Oh, yeah.
Am I wrong?
It's like, okay. For DC, like, Spider-Man is my superhero. Batman is a close second. And obviously I grew up on Iron Man and most of the Marvel movies. But there's something about Flash, especially in the, like, having super speed is cool on the offset.
Yeah.
Like, I would definitely want super speed if I could pick superpower.
That's why all little kids like Flash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just like to go fast.
Yeah.
But when you get to, like, DC and, like, again, Flashpoint, the storyline of Flash, you get a lot of, like, really interesting, like, idea. I like when superpowers do things that you don't think about on the offset.
Yeah.
Like, you think of super speed, you're like, oh, he just goes really fast. But obviously, Barry Allen is able to go close to the speed of light, and you see it. God, you see it in this movie. It's a major point of the story that he goes closer to the, like, I think he, well, technically goes past the speed of light and reverses time.
Right.
To come in clutch.
Yeah.
Super cool. But, like, for me, Barry Allen is supposed to be a little childish. He is the youngest member of the Justice League. Yeah. And especially this one, where Batman's 50 years old.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's my new favorite part about the movie. That, like, if you think about it, like, how old's Ben? How old's Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck. I don't know, but he's not a young man anymore.
Ben Affleck is 48 years old. So that was shot 3 years ago.
Well,
so let's just call Batman 45.
Still, like, if I can be Ben Affleck, like his physique at 45, I'll be happy. Yeah. I'm nowhere near it now in my 20s.
Which is even more awesome, is in 2016, Batman was 44 when he's strapping up and going heads up against Superman.
Exactly.
And he brought that suit back out, which was pretty cool, too.
It's so cool. Flash is my favorite character. What about you?
I mean, so it's Batman, but
I know that's why I had
my new favorite. I've never been a huge Superman fan.
I'm not. I'm gonna be honest. With you.
I like Henry Cavill. Cavill, whatever.
Oh yeah.
I like him mainly because he's managed by The Rock's ex-wife, and under that whole umbrella, and his trainer and nutritionist is The Rock's trainer. So I'm a fan of that aspect.
Makes sense.
I liked that they added more stuff for Cyborg in this one.
Oh yeah,
and he was like they played out that athlete story and all this stuff. That's kind of cool. But my favorite superhero movie outside of like your typical best ones, right? Like the Avengers and these or whatever, is Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Like, I think that's I hate Aquaman. I love Jason Momoa.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Do you like Jason Momoa but just hate this Aquaman?
I just hate Aquaman.
I can agree with you. I do like...
He plays the best version of it.
Oh, yeah. He's a solid Aquaman. I like the idea of Jason Momoa being Aquaman. But I just don't like this Arthur character. Like, he's not a good dude. Like, he saves people and then just gets drunk.
Yeah, like he's sad that he's a superhero.
Yeah, okay. So the joke is always like Aquaman isn't that great of a superhero. He could talk to fish, but in this one, and like a lot of Aquaman, to be fair, like he has control of the sea, like literally the sea. He can control water, all that shit. Dude,
use it.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Even in the Injustice games, like his ultimate move, he like causes a crashing wave to come over the battlefield, and then a shark just comes up and starts biting his opponent. Yeah. Sign me up, man.
That's awesome.
I don't like how this Arthur is just
and in the Aquaman movie when they're riding the sharks, that's kind of cool. I'll give you that one. That's really cool. But yeah, so I think that's all right. The Rock's playing Black Adam.
I'm curious.
I don't think I've mentioned that on this.
You haven't. Yeah. Never.
So The Rock's playing Black Adam, and he's jumping into the DC universe.
Yeah.
And Black Adam is the black version of Superman.
Essentially. So he's more the black version. Well, he's the Egyptian version of Shazam.
Right.
Really. Which, by the way, I don't know if have you seen Shazam?
No, I'm gonna watch it like the week of Black Adam coming
That's
out.
Fair. I like Zachary Levi. He was in one of my favorite sitcoms growing up, Chuck.
Yeah.
Which is solid if you've never seen it. But Black Adam is a very interesting character.
You want to know why I haven't watched Shazam?
Why?
You should know me by now to know why I haven't watched it. Why have I not watched it?
I can't think of a reason why you haven't.
Shazam is the only superhero outfit that has built-in muscles.
That is fair. That is entirely fair. I can understand that.
Just pick someone else.
Well, no. That's kind of the point of the character, though. He's a kid who gets superpowers, but the superpowers are like they make him Superman. Like and it's also a comedy. It's not supposed to be that serious.
Right.
So the implication that like this kid just like out of nowhere because he gets struck by lightning by saying the word Shazam, he just gets super buff. I think it's more funny that Zachary Levi is like usually this twig kind of guy, and then he just has padded muscles. Yeah. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason it looks like that.
Right.
But I feel like if Shazam shows up in a Black Adam movie, it'll be a good contrast.
Oh yeah, him and The Rock would be great with each other.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be freaking hilarious.
It'll be like Deadpool funny.
But I also think Black Adam isn't going to be. I think it's going to be a period piece, in a way. The way the concepts have been coming out.
It's an origin story.
It is an origin story, and it's going to be weird. And if you've ever like, have you done any looking in on Black Adam?
I've just The Rock is like broken it down a few times.
Yeah.
On his Instagram. Just other than
that. So Black Adam is like hundreds of years old, thousands of years old technically. He comes from Egypt.
He's a slave.
He was a slave who, via the same means that Shazam gets his powers, which is an old wizard, basically, and he learns the keyword or the magic word, and he basically just says Shazam, and he becomes Black Adam. Super buff, lightning powers, technically, all this and that. But what's interesting is Black Adam, when he's not Black Adam, if the keyword is said and he loses his powers, he becomes this mummy, and he's like totally powerless. And that's how he survives for so long, is that he becomes a mummy. But so, like, I think in the original Shazam story, like Shazam goes and finds this missing tomb of this slave king or whatever, says the magic word because he's in a fight with somebody, and Black Adam gets struck by the lightning, and he just fucking, hulks out, starts wrecking shit. Black Adam's such a good character. It's going to be very interesting, especially because he's implied to be a villain most of the times, if not like an anti-hero.
That's what he said. He was an anti-hero.
So seeing The Rock play a little bit more of a bad guy is going to be interesting.
Well, here's the deal. The Rock was created by being a bad guy.
That's fair.
And The Rock has yet to assume that role since he left wrestling.
Yeah.
I am so excited.
I think that's why I'm excited for Black Adam. Just because, like, the first few times I've seen The Rock in movies, I was like, okay, cool, it's The Rock. I can appreciate The Rock. But now I'm a little burnt out because it's always The Rock.
It's The Rock playing The Rock.
Exactly. So with this, I feel like he's gonna have to drop a little bit of the Rock-esque persona and have to be, Black Adam, which is gonna be good.
I think.
Come to think of it, the only other time I've ever seen him be a bad guy was The Mummy 2.
Yeah, Scorpion King, right? When he was like digitized on his face or whatever.
Jeez, have you seen that CGI
It's
lately?
terrible.
It is horrific.
Yeah. T and I went back about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I was at my apartment and we watched all the mummies, like kind of like a mummy day, and I was like, oh my god.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
He was a treasure, and he got done dirty.
Yeah.
It's so sad. He's making a comeback, evidently.
Good for him.
Good for him.
I'm a fan. But yeah, I'm excited about Black Adam. They start filming in 3 weeks.
And it's supposed to be out December?
Is it coming out this year?
From what I've been told, yeah.
Maybe as of last year, it was coming out this year.
Yeah. I guess it may be delayed a little bit.
Because original filming was when COVID happened.
That makes sense.
Because he was like ramping up. So here's what's crazy. So The Rock usually takes, let's just call it 18 to 36 weeks to prep physically for a movie. He does like go into like every role. He has a strength conditioning program based around it.
I can appreciate that.
But he's always busy too, so it's probably a little bit difficult to stay on task. He did a complete training cycle, and they were like ramping up to go shoot, and then they shut it down. And he had an additional year to train. So this man has put on like 30 pounds of muscle.
Jesus.
Like,
is this the only thing he's like? That is the next thing he's filming. He hasn't filmed anything else.
He hasn't done.
Oh my God.
The only thing that he's done is the little sit-in spots for Young Rock.
Yeah.
Help produce that.
Yeah.
That that.
But that doesn't take him.
But that
bulking up or anything.
He finished filming Red Notice, which he also needed to be big for because that was what he was working on before it shut down.
Yeah.
That's with Ryan Reynolds and Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be great on Netflix. It's the highest. It's the most money they've dished out for one show on Netflix.
I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, and The
Rock. Yeah, it's gonna be great. And they're pretty much all just playing themselves, so it's gonna be fantastic.
Good.
But then he's had a whole year to like get in shape. So this man, I'm pretty sure, is walking around like 280 pounds at like 10 to 12% body fat.
What? How tall is The Rock? I know I can ask you that and get an accurate answer.
I know that if you go to Wikipedia, they're going to tell you 6'5", maybe some sources 6'4". I'm going to tell you
he's 7 foot tall.
No.
He's the biggest man.
I'm going to tell you that if you look at the University of Miami's depth chart from when he played ball, they listed him at 6'3".
And the man he could have only gotten bigger.
I'm going to say this. They are very hard on you in your college programs on height. Like, that's a pretty firm height. So, like, I am legit 5'11" and 3/4 according to college. Right? But I will always claim 6 foot or 6'1" just because.
Oh, yeah. You just feel like you round up.
Well, just because when am I going to walk around barefoot?
Exactly.
So a minimum of 6 foot, I'm 6'1". Like that's, I'm walking around with shoes on. I would say he's every bit of 6'3", probably in that 6'4"
100%.
range.
But why I ask is like that man is like if you said that he put on 30 pounds just over the past year, that man's the same weight as me.
Well,
that makes me feel a certain kind of way.
I mean, I would say he always hangs around that 270 to 290 mark, but dude, he's pushing 50. And he's in better shape now than he's ever been his entire life. That's not possible. So, just for that.
Yeah, no. I just, wow.
But, so that's going to be fun. A lot of that coming up. And, he'll be giving us, like, the inside scoop of, like, as he's filming.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's been in Hawaii for a month now, getting ready to film. And another movie he's doing is, it's called King something. But he's playing the king of Hawaii.
That'll be interesting.
In the creation of Hawaii, like the original Polynesian king.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
So,
what you got?
Something I found today and I'm very excited about. We talked a little bit about Ghosts of Tsushima last week.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to get back into it when I get my PlayStation 5. Still haven't, by the way. Walmart just has not updated literally anything. It just says it's going to be here by the 8th, which slowly I'm just like.
So we're gonna do the unboxing here. Is that what we're gonna do?
We should.
If it comes on a Thursday.
If it comes on Thursday, I'm definitely bringing it, and we're gonna do an unboxing, 100%. Cool. But Ghost of Tsushima just got greenlit with Sony Pictures and PlayStation, not animation, but PlayStation Studios for a movie.
Ooh.
Directed by the same director as John Wick. And I've just got to say, hell yes. And it's going to be, from what I was able to read in the article, is going to be a 1-to-1. Obviously, with a game like that, with the size that it is, you won't get like all of the side stories and everything. But it is going to be Jin and his fight against the Mongols. And it is definitely going to be both a samurai movie and a ninja movie. Hell yes.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I just...
As long as Keanu Reeves is playing
I don't think so. But I would love to see Keanu Reeves in it. That'd be very interesting. I don't know if he would. There's not like literally the nice thing about Ghost of Tsushima is its accuracy. There aren't any like weird casting choices.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure if I got a little bit deeper in the game, maybe there's like a single white character or non-Japanese character, but I highly doubt it. So sadly, I don't think Keanu Reeves could be in it, but I would not be opposed.
Speaking of random characters added to movies, as of yesterday, Black Adam's added Pierce Brosnan in the movie.
What?
As Dr. Shield? Or Dr. Hang on. Something. Dr. Ultra or something? I don't know. I'd never heard of this person before. Let's go to
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate.
Ooh. That'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting. Dr. Fate is a
good guy, right?
It depends. It depends. It heavily depends. He's very similar to Dr. Fate, Shazam, and Black Adam all kind of center around a little bit of Egyptian culture in the DC universe, so it kind of makes sense.
I've got to dive deep into this Black Adam and Shazam.
It's pretty good. It's solid. I would. Even just like watching YouTube videos about it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I was gonna look up the Ghost of Tsushima thing one more time just so I can read it off. But I mean, man, we don't have enough good samurai movies.
So, your boy, you were talking about some samurai director the other day.
Yes. Shoot, who was I talking about?
Some dude you said never makes bad movies.
Yeah, he doesn't make bad movies. It's
regardless.
Yes.
I was looking on HBO Max. Do you have HBO Max?
I do.
Okay, so HBO Max, they have Zack Snyder's favorite movies.
Okay.
Have you seen this?
I have not, but
you should go check this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Zack Snyder's favorite movies and him breaking them down. He has like 4 samurai movies from the 50s and 60s. Or is that them?
Possibly. What do you remember any of the names of them?
One was like 7 Stones or 7.
If it's 7 Samurai, then I mean
maybe 7 Samurai. Is that him?
That's shoot. It still isn't showing me. It's why can't I ever remember the guy's name? I'm kind of upset. 7 Samurai is on there. It's Akira Kurosawa. Kurosawa doesn't make bad movies.
Is that the guy that was?
And I would not be surprised if Zack Snyder has 7 Samurai as one of his favorite movies of all time.
Let me see here. Pretty sure it was set. 7 Samurai, Throne of Blood, Yohimbo.
Yohimbo, okay. Throne of Blood, Yohimbo, 7 Samurai,
Rashomon.
Those are all Kurosawa movies, yes.
So it's funny because you said that, and then I was wanting to watch one of Zack Snyder's favorite movies to kind of just see, why he gets his ideas and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw those, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It makes sense, He kind of has that aspect with the Batman character.
Yeah. No, I would encourage you, if you can sit through subtitles. I think we've had the conversation before.
I don't mind subtitles.
Yeah. I would definitely sit down and watch 7 Samurai. It is it's very good. But if we can get going back to this what I'm trying to talk about, if we can get like a Ghost of Tsushima movie from the John Wick director, but keep the Kurosawa like ties that the story and the pacing has for the story, I'll be so happy.
Be great.
Get some good ninja kills and some samurai fights.
But a story.
But the good story.
Yes, Master.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I do love a samurai movie. The Tom Cruise samurai movie.
The Last Samurai is good. Like, people like sometimes like rag on it because it's whitewashing. It's not. It's really not.
No, it's literally like appreciating their culture and like someone saying, "Oh, I would rather just be this."
Exactly. It's exactly what you would want of a samurai movie that is a white led cast.
Yeah.
I don't know why people hate it as much as some people do.
Right.
Because it is exactly it's the story about exactly what at least Japanese people appreciate is you can come to our country, you can enjoy our culture, but follow our culture. Don't try and change it.
Right. And
because changing you're not smarter than the millions of generations before you.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm with you.
yeah.
Great movie. What else we got?
Not really anything.
Oh, I won some money this weekend.
Oh yeah. How much did you win?
You're gonna be upset.
I'm gonna be very upset because I could have put in a little bit.
So, let's see. It was Saturday was the UFC fights.
Okay.
And you know how I said I'm betting like, $10, $20 on every fight just to have a little skin in the game. So, 2 weekends ago, I had success. I was betting like $10 a game or $10 a fight. Ended up winning like, I don't know, $140. And I had enough money to play within the account. So this past weekend, I'm doing the fights. And I don't know if I've ever missed as many fights. Like, got them wrong. Ever in a row. So I'm down money. Like, the gambling account is a 0. Not because I'm in a negative, but because I've taken money out and I only had so much money in. So I was pretty confident in the main event that Derek Brunson was going to beat not Israel Adesanya, but Kevin Holland. Because I knew that if he could take him down, Kevin Holland was not getting back up. So I put $250 in the account. So now I'm down, let's just call it, $300. Put $250 on Derek Brunson. He's an underdog. That hit. So I won, let's call it, netted 400, I believe, roughly. Okay. No, so let's just call it 500. Like, that was what was back in the account, like $600.
Okay.
So I have $600 in the account. Started with $250. So I'm up, $350. The next day, I'm watching Oral Roberts play. Oral Roberts just beat, they just upset some big team in the first round. Who was it? I can't remember who it was. Anyways, big upset. Maybe Illinois. They beat Illinois in the first round. Yeah, so they were an underdog in the next game, and they were giving up like 9 points. And I was like, 9 points? Well, they're going to keep it within 9 points, I think. And they're playing Florida. So I put $500 on the fact. I went double down, put $500 on Oral Roberts to win to not lose by 9 points. They won the game outright. So I hit that one for $490. So I went from $0 on Saturday to $1,100 by Sunday morning. So now I've got money to play with this weekend. I think I'm going to put $500 on Stipe Miocic Saturday.
How much are we putting down?
I think so. Don't be jumping in now because I ride warm streaks. But so UFC this weekend is a rematch. Stipe Miocic, and look up Francis Ngannou. Have you looked him up before?
I've heard the name.
Okay, Francis Ngannou has to cut weight to make 265. He's like 6'3", 4", 265 pounds from Africa. That is an absolute genetic freak.
Oh my gosh.
He is.
Yeah, no. Wow.
He is factually 100% recorded as the heaviest puncher ever. He's the equivalence of getting hit by a Ford Escape. I think that's what the smallest Ford, whatever that is.
Yeah.
A Ford Escape going full speed.
Jeez.
That's how hard he hits.
Yeah, no.
He puts people lights out. Like, he touches them, they go to sleep.
Yeah, no. I'm looking at his trainer right now, and his trainer is your size.
Yeah.
But, like, he would have to be to take those punches.
Yeah, sure. Sure. So, Francis Ngannou's an absolute freak. He was an upcoming star in the UFC, and he was taking fights before he really should have them. He got a heavyweight championship fight a few years ago against Stipe, and Stipe just outclassed him. Stipe's just a dog. I mean, Stipe's 6'4", 6'5", 230 pounds. He's still a full-time firefighter, but he's a UFC champ. He's probably the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Okay.
He's getting a little bit older. And Stipe took some punches from him, too, and just kept on going. So, Francis has made his way back up, and here's the rematch. But Francis just hasn't had any time in the ring. Like, his total fight time, I believe, is like 168 seconds.
That's not a lot.
Like, outside of, like, the Stipe fight, like, the fights that went the distance that were boring. Like, outside of 2 fights, like, his total fight time is like 168 seconds, something like that.
Good Lord.
But Francis Ngannou, not Francis, Stipe's just been, like, he grinds them out. 5-rounders all the time. And Stipe is the champion. He's probably one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. He's beat him before, and he's the underdog. That's where my money's going. My money is going on Stipe.
That makes sense.
So I think I'm either going to put $250 on it or $500. Just because it's fun money.
Okay.
You know? If I put $500 and I lose, I'm just back to the $250 I put in.
Yeah.
But if I put $250 and I lose, I still got $250 of fun money. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Then we got some basketball this weekend. I usually just I get a little bored and then I end up playing just because. We'll see how that goes. But Marcus has had a couple baseball practices this week.
You start betting on those?
Maybe. So I'm all into that. I've already bought all the equipment. I bought a bucket of balls, got some wiffle balls, got him the nicest bag. I'm dad mode, all in on that.
Yeah.
I'm not helping coach because I don't want to be involved this first year.
You probably shouldn't.
But it's very hard for me to not find my way to the field. So there's that. We'll see. I'll probably end up.
You will eventually be his coach.
I can't take it much more longer. Anyway. Yeah. So he's got a game tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday.
Wow. Well, hopefully, if we don't get all blown away by tornadoes, it'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's supposed to rain Saturday and Sunday, but it should be good by tomorrow. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Other than that, I don't know if anything else cool coming out.
Not really. No. I mean, Godzilla, Kong.
That's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
I'm taking Marcus next Wednesday.
Okay. I'm gonna try and see it before the show next week. So.
Okay.
If anything, I might have to work in the morning Thursday and then watch it.
Well,
after
we might have to, because y'all do the rejected on Wednesdays.
Yep.
I was gonna say hit you up. We'll see what we can do.
We'll figure it out.
Because I do want to take him to the theater to watch it.
I want to see it in theater, and I want to see it in IMAX.
Yeah. But I guess it would depend on if we have practice or not, too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All just depends.
So we will be talking about that.
Dude, have you been spoiled at all?
Do not talk to me.
Have you seen the newest teaser, the final trailer?
Is it where they're both taking on the mecha one?
Yes. There is no scenes of the mecha Godzilla, except for the very end, where you see like a bay door open, it's a zoom in on the eye, and then a foot just crashes. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, man.
I mean, it's 100%. It is like it should be common knowledge now that it's going to be not King Kong versus Godzilla. It's going to be King Kong and Godzilla
versus Mechagodzilla.
Mechagodzilla.
See, that was my original theory. As time has gone on, my original theory has evolved from, Godzilla and King Kong are going to fight. They're going to fight some more. They're going to have 2 fights, and then the third fight's going to be obviously like the win.
Yeah.
Somebody wins, and then it was, wait, there's a possibility of Mechagodzilla. So Kong wins the first bout. Godzilla wins the second bout. But because Godzilla is so weakened by Kong in the second bout, which is going to be like the Neon City and with his axe and all that stuff, Kong is going to have to get back up and fight Mechagodzilla after Godzilla probably gets one shot by Mecha because he's so weak.
Yeah.
Because he probably takes an axe to the chest or like the shoulder. because Kong is coming down with that that spike axe.
Yep.
And yeah, Mechagodzilla is gonna have to be taken down by both of them. And it's gonna be a really good team up. I'm excited.
There's gonna be something that we don't expect help them. So I don't know.
I think Mothra comes out.
That's what Marcus thinks.
Like Mothra comes out, and you're like the whole theater is just like, what?
Yeah, that's what Marcus thinks.
Because I mean, Mothra in like the original like Toho Godzilla movies, she just comes back. Like I think if I remember correctly, in King of the Monsters, like the post-credit scene, there's another egg.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's totally possible.
Right.
But man, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I just want to see monkey and lizard fight.
I am more excited to watch Marcus's reactions more so than the movie. I can imagine. You don't like. I try to explain to people. I have I've been around him now for a few years.
Ooh,
like,
did you hear that? That is still. What the hell?
Yeah, that's a little scary. All right, well, we're gonna go get in our cars and get out of here because I think there's a tornado coming.
Yeah,
so we'll see y'all.